What is up, guys? So 2 years ago, I made a beginner guide, and it did really well, way better than I thought it would. I mean, crazy. But the problem is, I made the one beginner guide, and I got a lot of questions. So I made part 2. Then I made an intermediate guide. Then I made a selling guide. Then I made a gold guide. And basically what ended up happening is people were watching part 2, but not part 1. Or watching part 1, but not part 2. Or someone was watching part 2, but not the intermediate guide. And I was getting the same questions over and over and over for things that I've already answered in other parts of the guide. So I'm going to try my very best to put together a complete guide and redo the video I did 2 years ago. Now that I'm more comfortable with YouTube, I was a little tentative in the video that I did, and I feel like I can explain it better now because I'm more experienced now than I was then. And now reading all these questions for 2 years, I feel like I can do it. And I'm going to try and do it under 20 minutes. So let's do it. All right. I think we can do this under 20 minutes. I really do, okay? It's not going to be rushed. I'm going to do my best to give you the best information possible in as little time as possible. So stick around for the whole video because you're going to end up asking me something that I covered in this video. I already know. I love to help, okay? Anyone that has been with me since the beginning knows I love to help. You email me, I'll answer you. You have a coin that you're not sure about, I've been sent pictures of coins and questions and all this. I answer all that stuff. That's exactly why I started the channel in the first place. So, I'll put my email in the description. I'll put all the different guides that I did up here if you want to see the old stuff. And let's get it going. All right. So the first part I want to cover is this junk silver or constitutional silver, however you want to call it. Okay? And what constitutional silver or junk silver, because you're going to see them listed as both, is quarters, dimes, mercury dimes, okay? Half dollars, which I'll show you right here real quick. These are Kennedy half dollars that I actually just ordered. Okay, these are 90% silver. These are 90% silver. The dimes I'm talking about are 90% silver. Any coin that are quarters, dimes, or half dollars and minted in 1964, 63, 62, 61, you get the idea, are 90% silver. And believe it or not, every once in a blue moon, you can find these in your change. So pay attention. And the best way to find them is actually by looking at them on their side. So what I do is I look at them on their side. So you see how it's all silver, okay? Pure silver. There's no copper running through it or anything. So what I do is I get a handful of them, put them like this. I look at them. If I see one sticking out like that, I double check the date. So there you go, 1964. This is a 90% silver quarter, okay? So this is the best bang for your buck by far, I think, is the junk silver and the constitutional silver. But if that's not your style, there's other options where you can get a lot of silver for cheap. This is one option. When you're buying this stuff, make sure you're doing your math. Every $1.40 combined with quarters, dimes, or half dollars, you can combine with all three, doesn't matter what combination you do, $1.40 is 1 ounce of silver. 1 troy ounce of silver is 31.10 grams, okay? I know a lot of you are thinking 28 grams is an ounce. No. In the world of precious metal, 31.10 is called a troy ounce, and that is the true ounce, okay? Then you then you have these regular silver dollars. These are also 90% silver, okay? These carry something called a premium, which you pay a little bit more for the silver content because of the rarity of the coin, okay? And, okay, let me clarify before people start beating me up about it. If they're in good condition, you will pay more. These are not a full ounce of silver, okay? These are less than a full ounce of silver, but you may end up paying for more than an ounce of silver. You might end up paying about $30 now, today, 2019, in April, right now. You might pay like $30. However, you can find some that are a little worn and you might get them cheaper. But these happen to be in decent condition. So something like this will probably run you about $30. Okay? This one happens to be a scarce date, which means this year was a limited number made. There were a limited number made, okay? You definitely will pay more for that. If you start buying things like that, you're going towards the collector aspect of this whole thing, okay? Whereas if you were just to buy $1.40 worth of this, no matter the condition of the quarters or the half dollars or the dimes, then you're more on the stacker side. The key to all this is to know exactly which side you're doing, okay? I happen to be maybe like right here, okay? Which means I have some collector aspect, but I'm more of a stacker than I am a collector, all right? So basically, with these 90% silver coins, the more worn they are, this is something to keep in mind also, the more worn they are, the less metal there is. That's something you do want to pay attention to. But if they're not that worn, okay, like a lot of these quarters are actually in pretty good condition, then you should not pay extra to have nicer quarters or graded stuff. If you start buying graded stuff, you're leaning more towards a collector, okay? Next part. Here we have some generic, this is called generic silver, which means it's not government backed, it has no monetary value as far as it's not backed by the dollar or anything like that, okay? This is considered generic silver. You're buying this for the silver. There's nothing collectible about it, okay? These fall into that category. These are also really good if you're going more towards the stacker side, because you can get it close to the price of silver. And that's the goal if you're a stacker, okay? So that's that. I'm going to pick those up again, though, in a minute. This is a 10-ounce bar of silver. This 10-ounce bar will always be a tad bit cheaper than 10 of these single 1-ounce bars. Why? This is 10 ounces. There's 10 of these. That's 10 ounces. Why is this one cheaper? Because this is easier to make than these are, okay? You have to make more of them, which usually costs more than just making one big piece of silver. So you end up paying more. So if you're going to do that, there's nothing wrong with this. So you're probably wondering, why do people even bother buying these? Well, it all depends on your pace as well as why you're doing it. Are you doing it to prep in case there's a financial crisis? Do you plan to barter with this stuff? You don't want all big stuff if that's what your mentality is for doing this, right? So you want smaller denominations, smaller pieces of silver to be able to do that. You can't be doing this. How are you going to break this if you're going to try and barter with it, right? That's something to consider. But if you don't care about that stuff, the prepping stuff, don't believe in it, because some people don't, then maybe these 10-ounce bars is the best way to go if you have the money to do it. Okay? Because like I said, you're going to have to save about $179 for that right now. Whereas this, you could buy single ones for about $20. It's a lot easier to save $20 and buy one at your own pace and end up getting 10 ounces of silver at your own pace than saving up $179 and buying it all at once. That's part of your strategy, right? And it all depends on how much money you're putting into this. And that's something you need to think about as well. Are you going to put 3%, 5%, 10%? The recommendation, if you have nothing, I'm going to recommend that. I don't know who said it, so I'm not going to say it. If you don't know how much to buy, this is my advice to you. Buy what you can handle, okay? If you don't own a house, if you don't play with stocks, if you don't have any kind of cryptos, you have no other investment, you don't own a business, you don't have kids, whatever the case may be, you can raise a percentage. I would say the most to put into this will be 10%. I would not put more than that. That's my opinion. You do what you want at the end of the day. You're an adult, and I'm just trying to help you out. All right? Me personally, in case you're wondering, I like to hover around the 5%. Okay? I have stocks, I have a home, I have property, I have a business, so I can only do 3 to 5%. So that's something you need to think about. And why is that important? The longer you hold this stuff, the more valuable it becomes, basically. That's the way you got to look at it, okay? I'm not going to go into detail why, but the longer you hold it, the more valuable it will become, all right? And if you turn around and have to sell it right away because you bought too much, you will lose money. This is not a short-term investment. You will not become rich after 2 weeks of doing this, and all of a sudden gold and silver will be $20,000 an ounce. It's not going to happen. Anyone that's trying to get rich quick, look somewhere else. This is a long game, all right? And you need to be persistent, and you need to be vigilant when you're doing this, okay? All right, there's that. Another option for you guys that want to be on the collector side but also want the weight, I highly recommend a lot of these 10-ounce coins. This is a 10-ounce coin I have right here. Okay, it has the appeal of a collector because it's beautiful and there's not that many made. Well, these I think they made a bunch, but there's some that they don't make a lot and they're actually not that bad as far as price. It's pretty close to that. You might pay like 20 bucks more. It's not too bad, okay? People will want this because it's 10 ounces of silver. It's a big piece, all right? As you can see, it's almost as big as my hand. So these are a great thing that I say fall right in the middle between a stacker and a collector. Right there. Boom. There's your option. There's one. Okay? Once again, that might be difficult for you to start out because, you know, 180 bucks, 200 bucks right off rip might be difficult for you, especially if you're not comfortable. The point of this is to get you comfortable enough to start buying this stuff, but you need to understand what's out there to really, really do it, okay? And do it well. Once I go through all these different types of silver and different things you're going to see, I'm going to tell you some more advice and how I think you should start, okay? So let's just get over all these pieces first. This, and there's no particular reason why I selected this. This happens to fall into something I wanted to talk about, so I grabbed it. There's nothing, there's no particular reason why I selected this out of all my coins. All right. So this one is a coin that carries a heavy premium. What a premium is the coin is more expensive than silver. Basically, there's a spot price, right? Let's say it's like right here, okay? And when you buy regular coins, silver coins, or that generic stuff I was talking about, or this junk silver, those are typically going to be along the line of the spot price, the price of silver. Pretty close, okay? You will almost never get silver at spot price until you really learn and how to, learn how to buy and where to buy and how to maneuver. There's ways to get under spot, okay? But I won't go into that right now. So, coins with a heavy premium, here's the line. That's how much silver is. Will end up being a little bit above because it's a rare coin or a limited coin. They only made 10,000 of these particular coins. So you're paying for the rarity of it. Now, I did a whole video on these modern day numismatic coins. Numismatic coins are those collector coins, okay? Things on this side. And I happen to be sort of against it, even though I dabble. But this coin was about $32, where you can buy a regular piece of silver for about 20 bucks right now, okay, if you know where to look. So those coins with a heavy premium, okay, will cost you more because of the collector aspect. And I'm going to go over another type right now. So this is just one. Now, this is a special edition. You see the person in the background, okay? The regular coin is also technically limited with like 35,000. But this is the Ghost Edition. So that's another way that they get you. Okay? So you got to pay attention to that. There's only 10,000 of these minted. And obviously, there's a little bit more risk with this type of coin than there is with just a regular silver coin on the stacker side. And that's another point I want to make. The more you lean this way, the more risk there is, but there's also more reward. But there's also more, you need to really know your stuff the further you go over here, because you could buy coins that will cost you and they will not do nothing for you in 5 years. Only the price of the silver. I made a whole video on that, but I won't touch that right now. The thing you need to remember if you're just starting out is everything on this side is more complicated and there's more room for error. So if you're going to start doing this, you should be more on the generic and like easier stacker side. Okay? And another little thing, you should definitely look into these Sunshine Mint stuff. It has a verifier. You could buy this little verifier. And I'm not going to get it to work, of course, because... Oh, wait, maybe. See how it said valid? It's a nice little tool if you're worried about the authenticity about the stuff you're buying. Sunshine Mint, all their stuff has that. This is a $20 investment, but guess what? If you're starting out, that's a great investment to really make sure you're buying legit stuff. Look, it has it here too. You see it? Okay, and when you turn it this way, it does a little starburst. All right, you see it. Okay, so that's just a little tip, okay? You could buy these Sunshine Mint. You can buy them anywhere. And I'm going to put a list of reputable companies in the description that you can buy from and not worry about authenticity. But just in case, you could always buy those. You could buy the verifier. So that way when you start buying privately, you can verify the stuff on your own at home without having to do all kinds of crazy stuff with acid and whatever, sound test and all that other, the ring test, whatever. All right. This is also, I pulled this out because these and the American Eagles are super popular. You could sell these with absolutely no problem, and they're usually pretty close to spot price. The Maples, as of late, have been a little bit cheaper than the Silver Eagles. This is Canadian. This is American. These are very highly stacked by stackers, okay? A lot of people buy these. They're very popular. Everybody knows them, and that's exactly why people buy them. And they buy them a ton at a time because everybody knows them. When it's time to sell, you can offload them like this because everybody knows those coins, okay? Now I'm going to start talking about these plastic things. You're probably wondering what they are. These are called slabs. Here's an example of a mistake I made. This is a slab coin, okay? This brilliant uncirculated, you're probably going to end up seeing that abbreviated to BU, okay? That means brilliant uncirculated. So what that means is this coin was never in circulation. People were never using it, okay? To buy it in a slab like this, I paid extra money. Keep in mind, the more little features and stuff like that these coins have, okay, the more expensive they will be. This slab is not free. You pay for that slab. So I paid more because it's in a slab, okay, and it's graded. So somebody sent this off to get graded. They sent it back and it turns out it's a regular coin. So I spent more money because it's in this slab. Where if I would have bought one just by itself, I probably would have saved myself $5-10. All right? If you're going to end up doing these slabs, and this goes for the collectors, don't bother buying these slabs for coins that are just BU. It's a waste of money. I'm telling you straight up. It's a waste of money. Okay? MS70 is where you want to be. MS70 means it's a perfect coin. There's not one little nick, no scratch, nothing. And they look at this with a microscope, okay, to make sure there's no scratches or anything like that on this thing. So it's perfect. Nothing wrong with the coin. However, this one was struck at the San Francisco Mint, which means it was made in San Francisco, and there's less of them made in San Francisco. It's in a slab. It's a perfect coin. So obviously, I did what? I paid more for this. I paid for the slab. I paid for the rarity that it's made in the San Francisco Mint because they don't make that many there. Okay? And then it's a perfect coin, first release, which is a very loose term, and you end up paying more for first release and early release for no reason, in my opinion. All right? So there's that. A regular Eagle will probably run you about $20, $19 right now. Because this one was in a slab, and because I bought this in 2013 when gold and silver were high, I ended up spending almost $50 for this coin. And I probably will not get that $50 back unless silver starts coming up. And that's why I'm telling you, the numismatic side of this, or the collector side, is the riskier side. So this is something I did when I first started. Okay. Then you have coins that change designs. I love pandas. Pandas change their design every year. As you can see, this one was 2016, 2014, another 2014, 2013. Why do I have two 2014 coins? There's another negative on the slab. So these are perfect coins, MS70, and I hope I can get it for you guys to see. Do not be fooled by these slabs. They do leak. You see the toning? It's starting to turn that yellowish color, that yellowish hue. So that means there's a leak in the slab itself, which happens. So the only cool part about these slabs really is that the coin won't get messed up as far as scratched or anything like that. And you can stack them. As you can see, I stacked those nicely. But other than that, they leak. You get what I'm saying? These things will leak. So don't trust them 100%. I kind of let this one go. However, if I really wanted to, or if it really bothered me, I could have put this in a plastic bag and maybe slowed down the toning or whatever. But just pay attention to that. Make sure you know that just because it's in a slab doesn't mean that it's not going to get to the coin, okay? Another reason why I brought these pandas out, so they change the design every year. There's certain coins, there's like series that change their design every single year, okay? So if you wait 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and then try, let's say, let me give you a good example. Okay, so 2016, right? I just got into silver stack in 2016, and I love these pandas. I want to buy these pandas. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to start the collection. I'm going to go back 3 years and buy the 2013. You're going to end up paying more for that 2013 because that design was 3 years ago. Okay? And that works for any coin that changes their design. The further back that you need to go, the more money it's going to cost you to make up for that series. So my advice to you, do not go further than 1 or 2 years. Once you start hitting 3, 4, 5, forget it. Just let it go. Don't try and catch up in a series unless you're on that collector side and that's what you want to do. Another thing to keep in mind, I buy one in a slab every year and I buy a loose one every year. And basically, if you get them in a row, okay, so right now I have 2009 all the way to now, 2019. Over 10 years worth of pandas. Because I have them runner like that all together, I could sell them for more as a set. So that's one way to think about it. And these pandas are popular. However, they are not a full ounce anymore. Back in 2013, they were a full ounce right here. It says it, 1 ounce, AG999, right? 2016, 30 grams. You guys see that at the bottom right there? They're not a full ounce anymore. Keep that in mind if you want to get into the pandas, okay? And then they also have like little things like this. This, I talk about this a lot in my videos, actually. It's called coin upside. I don't know if it's a real thing or if I made it up. If I made it up, then sweet. But if I didn't, then I'm sorry whoever I took it from. All right. So this is one of first 30,000 struck, right? This was being sold for the same price as a regular 2016 in a slab, right? So what I did is I said, well, do I get the regular one that's in the slab and it says all this stuff, or do I get the more limited one for the same price? Obviously, I bought the more limited one. That's called coin upside. Why would I buy the regular one if I could have a rarer one for the same price? Even if it was like $2, $3, $4 more, I would have bought this one. All right? So do your shopping. Pay attention to little things like this because down the road they will make a difference. All right? Then we have I want to touch on gold a little bit. During all of this, when you're first starting out, my advice to you would be to stick to silver as much as you can. The more basic the silver, okay, the better. If you want, actually, I'm going to put it in the description, pieces you should buy. There's certain generic pieces of silver that are super counterfeit and super confusing. There's different designs. You don't know how to tell if it's real. You don't know anything, okay? And I don't own any of that stuff. I don't own none of those generic things that I'm talking about. If you see terms like art bar, German silver, Tibetan silver, that is all possibly counterfeit or not real silver, okay? Those are 3 terms you need to pay attention to. I think there's one more. I can't think of it at the top of my head right now. All right, so if once you start getting a little comfortable, this is the best way to enter the world of gold. This is a 1/10 ounce gold piece. This is a gold Krugerrand, okay? And these are the best to start with gold because these are not counterfeited very often. The likelihood of these being counterfeited is very rare because the amount of money it would take to counterfeit this little thing is not worth the reward of selling this little thing, okay? And the details on this little thing, all right, I also want to say, are very hard to mimic. And you could probably tell right away. So these are safe bets. If you combine buying small pieces of gold like this, along with the reputable companies I'll have in the description, you're going to be okay with gold. Same deal with gold as it is with silver. Do not overbuy. If you need to turn around and sell this right away, you will lose money. Okay? And I brought this little thing out right here. Okay? If you do the math on this piece of gold, whatever, I think this is like 3 grams of gold here. 18 karat, 3 grams total weight of 18 karat gold. I ended up paying almost double what I would have paid for regular bullion gold like this. And that's because you're paying for the work that's put into this bracelet. All right? So, unless you can find good deals on jewelry that someone's desperate selling it and you want to buy it privately, don't mess with jewelry. Don't be fooled by that whole thing. Say, I'm stacking gold and I'm buying jewelry. But that concept, that's not really why I'm telling you. That concept of the more work that's put into something, the more it costs, this is the prime example of what I mean. All right? And the same goes for this stuff, these coins too, and stuff like that. Good places to buy in the description. When it's time to sell, you could sell on Instagram. You could sell on OfferUp. You could sell on eBay. Keep in mind, on eBay, you will lose 13%. Between PayPal and eBay itself, you will lose 13%. OfferUp's free. You could put an ad in Craigslist. You could sell on Instagram. I see people selling on Instagram all the time. I've sold on Instagram. However, if you're just getting into this, selling should be the last thing on your mind. Unless you plan on buying these collector coins, waiting a year or two, or even a couple months sometimes, if you're lucky enough, and flipping it. So you buy it for 27, you wait, and then you sell it for 30, because sometimes it happens. But you need to be experienced to be doing that kind of stuff. I would not mess with any type of coin flipping until you're comfortable, because you will get burned. Guaranteed. Okay? What else? Selling it, I got it. Buying it, reputable companies online, you could buy from your coin shop, if you have a local coin shop. But online's great. You can find deals all the time. eBay is a great place to buy. Stay with me. eBay, if you could work it right, and you actually, these sellers down here sell on eBay as well. If you could work it in a way where you can get eBay bucks towards the stuff, you will kill it in this game. All right? So keep in mind, if you want to buy on eBay, buy from those people. I wouldn't buy from anybody else until you get comfortable and you know who's trustworthy and who's not. Don't buy nothing from China. No sellers from China on eBay. For sure, especially these. I did a whole video on a counterfeit panda that I got from China, which I ordered on purpose because I knew it was counterfeit. These are heavily counterfeited, and guess what? Just because it's in the slab doesn't mean it's real either. they counterfeit the slabs. So the best prevention for buying this stuff would be to buy from these reputable companies I'm telling you in the description. All right? And I said I was going to do 20 minutes. It's 28 minutes. I'm sorry. But I think I got everything. I'm pretty sure I got everything this time, guys. I think it's all here in one video as fast as I possibly could. I think I did it. If you liked the video, if I helped you out, make sure you subscribe and you like it. If you really like it, share it. And I will talk to you later. If you have any more questions, ask me in the comments. Hopefully I nailed everything. But still, ask me in the comments. I'm even going to leave my email if you want to email me a question. Okay? That's the whole reason why I did this channel. The whole entire reason why I started in the first place, and I want to keep that going. So those of you that have been with me from the beginning, I want to thank you guys. I'm over 4,000 subscribers, which is unreal. And, I was looking through my comments the other day, and I saw guys that are still commenting today from 2 years ago. It's great. So I want to thank those guys. You guys know who you are, and I know who you are. And that's it. So leave me a comment. Those of you that are experienced stackers, absolutely leave a comment if you want to add something I missed. I think this is a pretty good complete guide, though. I think I did all right. But if I miss anything, or if you want to add something, if it's really good, I'll pin it to the top of the comments. And I'll talk to you guys later.